Hello Mark, hello Transport Evolved. It's Tuesday already and thankfully the rain is coming. It's been really hot here in the UK and I don't like the heat, and rain is good because it makes it all, cool, and it also makes the grass grow, and I've just sown seeds in the garden, so yay. Welcome Snoopy. Snoopy the dog. I now want to call you Charlie Brown. Not Snoopy the dog. I want to call you, Mark, Charlie Brown, because you have a dog called Snoopy. It worked in my head. I'm going to try and find you a Charlie Brown jumper because I know you like jumpers. The rude person making you wait 20 minutes to charge up. I think this is proof categorically that we need more charging stations. M-O-A-R. Yes, I know that's not how you spell more, but I'm trying to be cool and hip. But in all seriousness, we would never have a petrol station with one petrol pump, would we? Can you imagine if there were petrol pumps, just one petrol pump, and people had to queue for one petrol pump? And you think that you can fill most cars' petrol tank in under 5 minutes? Charging stations take longer and there are less of them per site, apart from Tesla, which has its head screwed on properly about that one. Range extenders. You were talking about hydrogen, which I said would be a good idea, and then someone went, yeah, you're carrying around extra weight. So what about if we had a battery range extender? I know it's something Tesla's looked into. So a hybrid battery pack where you have a very low cost, sort of medium energy density battery pack that you use for everyday trips. And then you have a really super high density, maybe like a lithium air battery that is more difficult to recharge, has a shorter recharging capability over its lifetime. So maybe you can recharge it 100 times in its life rather than several thousand. And that becomes your range extender. So you only use that for the really long trips. That would work. And then it would just be an electric hybrid. And I think Tesla's already working on that. So that would be cool. Travelling light. I have been thinking even more about this. We do have to travel more light. We will have to travel more light. And I think you're right. Our generation has screwed up things. Our parents' generation have screwed up things. My kids, they are the ones who are going to have to pick up the pieces. We were talking about ice shelves dropping off into the Antarctic this weekend. And my kids don't really yet comprehend it. They're not old enough yet to understand what sea level rise really means for them. And they don't really understand what it means for the rest of the world. You know, countries like Bangladesh, and land is land and sea is sea. Sea level rise is a concept that they don't really grasp yet, but they will have to, and they will have to pick up the pieces. And we and they, for the rest of our lives, do need to think about travelling more lightly, and we need to think about being more energy efficient. And maybe that's why the BMW i3 is so special. Long range EV trips. Oh God. Okay, so Friday's trip made me really mad. The guy on the mobility scooter just made me laugh. Look, I have no problem with people making long distance EV trips. I would be a hypocrite if I did. I'm just about to make a really long one. But I'm not making that trip because it's an EV trip. I'm making it a trip because it's an adventure. And I'm approaching this with the kind of the long way down, long way round mentality. We are going on an adventure. We are going to see lots of different people in lots of different countries. We're going to talk to lots of different people. We're going to be camping. We're going to be roughing it a bit. And our trip is about the journey to the wave. And then, yes, we'll be reporting about the electric cars taking part, and isn't it wonderful? But our trip out there is going to be about the journey more than the mode of transport. And I think about all those cool travel books that people have made over the years by doing weird and wacky things. There's a guy who went round Ireland with a fridge. You know, why do we climb mountains? We don't climb mountains because we need to. We climb them because they're fun. So I think we just need to delineate in our minds the difference between a trip that's trying to prove something like EVs are not ready for prime time, which I think is probably what the BBC are going to do, versus let's go for a lovely long trip in an EV. I want to talk about halo cars. The BMW i3 and the Tesla Model S are becoming pretty much halo cars, certainly here in the UK. And I want to know if those cars being in the public attention, in the spotlight, are going to actually help sales of cars like the Nissan Leaf, which have traditionally been given a bit of a hard time over here in the UK and in the US by some segments. Are we going to see an increase in sales across the board of EVs because of cars like the Tesla Model S, because of cars like the BMW i3? Like the trickle-down effect. People go to the dealership for Tesla or BMW and go, can't really afford that. Let's try a Nissan Leaf instead. I'd be interested to see what you think. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow, and I will be back with my thought of the day for Thursday. Bye, Transport Evolved. Bye, Mark.